Yo, good morning, world. What's going on? It's your man, AC Star. Welcome to the AC Star Morning Show. And folks, I got a special guest for y'all today. Something real different than my usual thing, but I'm going to try this out a little bit. Today, folks, I'm going to have over here no other than the one and only Theron K. Cal of the RBR Network and the RBR Network for Women. We're going to chop it up about Theron K. Cal. We're going to clear up some rumors. We're going to find out some new things. We're going to see if this can be insightful yet informative. That's what we're going to do today. So I would like to thank everybody for coming through. I would like to thank my man Triple OG for showing up. Yeti Black is in the building. RBR Network for Women is in the building. So, I'm going to go ahead and ship this link off to RBR real quick, and then we're going to get this started, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see what we can do. We're going to see what we can do. I hope everybody is having a great morning this morning. I know I am. I'm bright and bushy tail, ready to get this on, ready to chop it up with my man RBR and see what he's talking about. Other than that, just having a good morning this morning, making it do what it do, you know what I'm saying? Praying to the snow monsters that they take a break and stay away from us for a while, you know what I'm saying? But man, so today is going to bring my man Theron K. Cal on, also known as RBR, also known in the streets as Bricks. But we're going to try to eliminate some of those acronyms and just have a peaceful dialogue and see what we can get. Tim Harvey, good morning, my brother. Peace, thanks for coming through. Everybody, please hit the like, subscribe, and share button, please. Please. To tell a friend that the AC Star Morning Show is live. And today we have a special guest, RBR from the RBR Network, aka Theron K. Cal. We're going to talk about his career in the film industry. We're going to talk about the books that he written. We're going to talk about his years in the YouTube streets and where he see this YouTube thing going. Where does he see his career going, and how he can continue his influence not only in this genre but the genres that he's been through before. So good morning, Denini. How are you, my beautiful sister? I know you looking like $1 million today as usual. I'm sure that blue magic is fluffing in the air, and you about to get out here and get some of that paper. And that's right, my sister, go get that bread, because I'm sure you are a go-getter. Go-getter. Yeah, see, it's nice. I see y'all fine. We was in the 60s yesterday, Denini. The whole town was outside. I swear to God, I was outside. I had on bright colors and everything. Boy, I felt like an Easter kid. I had on Easter clothes. It was so nice outside. Everybody wanted to go outside yesterday. I took my family, went and had a nice meal. Went to this our favorite diner. We sat down, me, my girl, and my son. And we had a wonderful, they ate good. I ate good. So that sun brought out a lot of positive energy. I seen a lot of families, a lot of people out and about yesterday. So that old dingy ass snow, because around here when snow stick around, that should be blue-black. That should be so dingy because it just stayed. You know what I mean? It just sticks around. So yesterday was a beautiful day. So we got some of y'all wonderful weather up here. RBR, I'm about to drop the link real quick if you in the building. So grab the link, grab it real quick. And then matter of fact, I'm gonna send it to your email. It's just giving me a hard time trying to do it. And then we're going to get this thing started. We're going to get this interview started. So I'm going to drop this link to RBR real quick. Real Brother Radio right there. And this is the link, RBR. So go ahead, when you get some time, man, go ahead and click the link. I sent it to you. RBR, are you in here? Are you in the building, RBR? Let me know if you're in the building. So, y'all see the Cash App at the bottom. I'm not asking for donations just for the playing my lifestyle, but I just want to create a better show and create a better environment, and that's going to take better equipment. You know what I mean? So that's what the donations will go to, because I have my own business in life that I kind of take care of my family with. But I want to make this production a little better. I want to bring more people on. I want to expand it and get my visuals and everything right. So right now I'm just in the learning phase. But RBR, if you in the building, man, let me know. So hit me in the chat or something. I'll fix that situation with you not having what's the name. You there? Hold on, give me 1 second, RBR. Give me 1 second. Let me just click on real quick. Let me do something real quick, and then we can get started, my brother. Let me just take care of something real quick. My son is doing a project, so I have to communicate with his teacher real quick and get some things situated with her, and then we can rock and we can get to it. All right, get to it. All Alright, get to it. I wanna make me some mods, man. RBR, I'm gonna make you a mod on your. If I don't see your RBR network thing, I want to make you a mod. Tim Harvey, I'm gonna make you a mod if that's all right with you, brother. I need to make some of y'all mods, man, because I got a lot going on and I can't watch the whole thing. So yo, my man RBR is in the building. It's at the screen. Then I think it's scrolling on the screen at the bottom of the screen. I think that's where it's at. So yo, my guest is in the building. The one and only Real Brother. What's going on, Real Brother? Good morning to you, my brother.
All right, man. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, you know I needed to do this, man, not only to clear the air on some of the things that we going through, man, but also to, you know, kind of who you are. I think a lot of times we got a misconception. And, you know, as I was doing some research, oh my God, it's so crazy. As I was doing some research for my interview this morning, hold on, give me a second. You know, this camera, man, this shit is like crazy. I'm sorry, man. I apologize, man.
Breast cam.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The hood cam, man. You know the white man trying to scramble up the feed. I got the Real Brother on. He ain't gonna let that go down. He ain't gonna let the Real Brother have a decent interview. He ain't about to let that happen, RBR. You know that. So yeah, I kind of did some background, you know, I did some background information on you this morning, just a little research, you know, about your books and a lot of things. So I first want to start off the interview by acknowledging you, you know, as a person who gave me an opportunity to be on your panel, and it wasn't always the best. Like right now, we're going through something, and we can talk about that at the end. But right now, I just want to kind of get a better understanding of you and give you an opportunity to let the world know who the true THERON K. Cal is, right? And all the things that encompasses you. So if we can, you know, let's start off with your early life, and you can give us a brief synopsis of your early life, and then after that, we'll try to go into your film careers and your academic career and just see what formed THERON K. Cal. So, yo, if you don't mind, go ahead and chop it up, man. Let us know. And see if you can fix your mic, RBR, like speak into your mic a little bit so people can hear you, so they can hear you clear.
Okay, good. Yeah, well, when I was young, you know, I'm talking about like in the 5th grade or some shit, you know. I observed the world like everybody else, you know. I had 2 parents.
There you go, RBR. That's much better, much better. There you go.
Yeah, so we middle class upbringing and all that old stuff. So I noticed we had a friend. I had a friend named Eric Lampkin. He used to lie all the time. And it was very curious because you know, I was like, why is Eric always lying? You know, he'd be saying stuff like his dad drove the Converse truck and the truck hit the bump and all the Converse went out on the street and stupid shit like that. And dad drove the cinnamon stick truck and they robbed the train. We like 10 years old.
Hey, what is that exactly?
Yeah, I don't know. But see, it made me wonder why would people lie? And then being black and then the racism thing, you know, that popped off very early in grade school. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you know, I've made a vow to myself that, man, I'm gonna do something about this with my life. I'm gonna do something about people lying, about people misleading people to one up on people, to hurt people, to trip people, to demean people. And so I didn't know what that was. You know, I was like, well, what is that? And then somebody said, that's journalism. I said, oh, okay, well then, yeah, I need to be in journalism and stuff, right? So when I was in the 6th grade, they had a writing contest. They had just started the Magnet program where you can pick an area of study. And this is after leaving grade school, the 6th grade. You can pick an area of study, and then you could go to a school that specializes in that. So I picked. Hey,
RBR, can you do me one favor, bro? Like we can hear you, but you're like kind of low, and you're fading. Is there any way you can just get a little closer to your mic?
Okay, how about that?
All right, that's good. We got to get you a new mic, bro. I gotta
I
send
think
you a
it's
new
the
mic.
settings. See, I don't really understand the settings on the
Yeah,
mic.
mine is messed up like that too. When you have the older computers, it's hard to really adjust the microphone the way you want. Know how I learned to adjust it a little bit better when I use
Yeah.
StreamYards, right? And then I'll go into StreamYards, and then they give me an option to control the mic, and I kind of control. That's how I fix my volume. But you good? Let's try to go. I don't want to make the technical difficulties, you know what I mean, too much. But go ahead, I'm listening, bud.
Okay, so what I ended up doing was I ended up going to a magnet school, Sharpless Middle School, that had a journalism class and it had a newspaper, and then that started me on my journalism career, and it turned out to be the perfect education for me all the way through up college at the University of Washington, because it taught me how to do research and how to find out the truth. And I'm not playing with that. This is not something that was a black education. I was probably one of the only ones, two or three black people in the class at the school and in the journalism school. And so they didn't think that they were teaching, a real brother how to find out the truth, but they were. And as I get older and I see what has happened, nothing has changed in terms of the people that are lying and the people that are out to get us. Nothing has changed. But I think that I have made some inroads and I continue to make. It's an ongoing process. But yeah, I basically am on a crusade for the truth, which means that people are going to target me and say that I'm a liar, say that I'm this and I'm that. And I understand it. People are just wrong. We have a race of people that just doesn't want us here, and they're going to lie on us, and they're going to target us, and they think that whoever blocked me thought that it would somehow benefit them, or maybe it would benefit you if they blocked me. If you stop the truth, in the absence of the truth, the lie flourishes.
Let me ask. Can I ask you a quick question? Like going back to your childhood. Now, when you went to that magnet school and you realized, like, what was the catalyst? I mean, you said it was you was understanding why people did things, and you was curious to why people had such certain behaviors that they had. Now, when you got to this school, what was the catalyst behind you saying, okay, journalist is what I want to do? Because they allowed you to choose it, or was it a moment that brought that to you?
Yeah, I didn't know. Like I said, I didn't know what profession had. The vision that I had was a big megaphone, not a microphone, but a megaphone, and then I could speak to the whole world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there was a brother. He used to hold court on like Second Avenue and Pike downtown in the Pike Place Market, and he was a brother, and he knew all the college athletes that were black. And he would just sit there and give you their stats and just talk, just like Malcolm X and them do about other shit. But he was talking about sports and black people. And then one day he said, I had to be like 10 years old. And one day he said, I just love niggas. He said, I just love niggas. And that hit me, man. I was like, man, this brother loves niggas. And that okay, what is that? So I got into it through sports. But I had to find out what the hell journalism was. And that's what I did. And I found out I really loved. My first experience is an experience that I relate to that happens to me every day on the internet, on YouTube. And that was when I turned in, it might have been my first article to the newspaper in seventh grade. And it was a story about the 1969 Seattle Pilots, who played for 1 year in Seattle and then moved to Milwaukee and became the Brewers. And Miss Bradlin was the teacher, the journalism teacher, and she didn't believe me. And it was the first time in my life that I realized that because I was black, people wouldn't believe me. People would think that I'm lying. And I didn't handle it in a bad way. I just went and got my notes and the programs and the history and the newspaper clippings, and I brought them to her, and she said, oh, I didn't know that. And she, changed my grade and gave me an A+. And it was I didn't know it at the time. How would I know that? But it was an extremely valuable lesson because it showed me how to defend an argument, and to this day, as we speak, there are people in the chat room who do not believe what I'm saying. I was so pissed at Bomb Cherry yesterday because
All right, well, let's take a step back. We can get into that. Like right now, what I'm just trying to do is I'm trying to get a baseline understanding of who you are and what shaped your thought process. Like we can get in. I want to get into your detractors and some of the things that you see in this space that you have a problem with that comes from your upbringing. It comes from your professional avenues that you went. But right now, I just kind of want to build the building blocks, and we can definitely get into the, to the meat and potatoes of these YouTube streams. So right now, I just want to kind of keep a focus on you, if that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
Okay, so now when you made this transition, right, to middle school, and you was going into high school, and you began to take journalism serious, right? What were some of your mentors, and what were some of the I would say, what were some of the moments that let you know this is where you wanted to go? And then, if we can, let's start making that transition into the film industry. And what was the catalyst to that? If you can kind of, paint that picture for me.
Yeah, well, okay, it started with the megaphone to the world, speaking to the world. So obviously the mediums that speak to the world weren't fully developed then. We had television, we had newspaper, and we had radio. And so those are the mediums that I focused on. So I wrote for the black papers that were in Seattle. Then I worked for radio stations, first white radio stations, reading news, working for free. I'd read news, that kind of stuff. And then I moved to the CBS affiliate in Seattle. I worked for them for a number of years, then Fox affiliate, then KSDW, Metro TV, then BET, and I just started doing it.
Was this all freelancing? This was all freelancing, or you had?
But no, I had some, like the Cairo CBS. That was a job, and then everything else for the most part was freelance. BET was a job, but it's like you get paid $200 per story. So yeah, so it was like that. And so I had offers. I had offers to go to ESPN, CNN. Okay. And I turned those down, but I did work for BET for a few years. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Also, so now in doing that, right, and the stories that you did, were they more racist centric, sports centric, or was just a because I know you have a sports background as a sports journalist, right? And you're really into, Seattle. You tell, in previous lives, I heard you tell stories about how you met different broadcasters or met different journalists in covering the Seattle Mariners. Now, what was your favorite area to cover? Was it sports? Was it entertainment? Was it black people? What was your favorite topic to address or to be a journalist at?
It was sports, and then the producer hired me at the CBS affiliate in Seattle at Cairo. I thought he was black, but he was Jewish, and so he hired me in the sports department. Now he was dating a white girl who worked at the Channel 11, the Fox affiliate, or one of the independent affiliates in the Gaylord Broadcasting Company in Tacoma, and she had an opening for a public affairs show, and he said, "Oh, they're looking for somebody young." Blah blah blah. So anyway, I went down and auditioned and got that job, and but that was totally not sports. I did have some sports people on, but for the most part, it was politics. And I can't even fake it. I loved it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I loved it.
Okay.
From that point on, I was I was always into sport. I lost a job at the ABC affiliate. Rick Dupree, who was Billy Joe Dupree's cousin, played for the Cowboys back in the day. He played for the University of Washington. He got a job at the ABC affiliate. And so he was giving me he gave me an interview with the sports director, and during the interview he was there, and he asked me my philosophy on sports. And when I told him, I said, I was working for Wayne Cody. He used to be on the Captain Kangaroo show.
Oh shit! Which one was that? What character was that? Because I had to watch the Captain Kangaroo show. So what character was that?
He was the clown. He was the big fat dude. His name is Wayne Cody.
I remember him. I remember that character.
So anyway, he didn't take sports seriously. He was like a weatherman doing sports.
Right.
And I told Bruce at the time, my motto was Brian Gumble.
Okay.
We clowns, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is just as serious as the news, right? And I didn't get the job because of that. And Rick was saying, I can't believe you said that. I said, Rick, I said that because it's true. I don't take sports like it's some fucking entertainment. And, this is serious. I'm a serious journalist. I'm not no clown. Wayne be clowning too damn much. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, my point is I wanted to be serious, and I didn't want to see myself as entertaining.
Right. So you took so your idea was, I want to be a serious journalist, and I don't want them to think that I'm just like trying to be on ET Tonight, and I want them to understand that I'm really trying to invest into this sports journalism. Okay, I got
absolutely, that. Absolutely. So okay. And I didn't feel I could do it in sports.
Right.
I decided to go on ahead and go to investigative journalism, so that I would be an investigative reporter as opposed to a sports reporter.
Okay, so as we see the timeline, right, in your life, as we see you progress from journalism, and you made that turn into not only entrepreneurship but production and movie production and being a writer. How did all that come about? Like, how did you go from journalism, right, into the movies, into writing books? I mean, because it's still a writing thing. You have to write, so you already a writer. But what was the catalyst to that? What sparked you to say, wow, I like this movie thing, I want to get into it? Was it a move? Was it a certain thing that happened? Break that down for us.
Yes. Now, our mentor, it's weird, but the paper in the black paper, the guy that owned the facts and see, he owned the radio station. He owned the two newspapers, the Medium and the Facts. Now, the Medium was a take on David Halberstam. People wouldn't know him, but journalists know him. He did the Michael Jordan book. But anyway, David Halberstam, he is like the father of modern journalism. And he wrote a book called The Medium is the Message. And the premise of the book was that if you own CBS, ABC, or NBC, the New York Times, the LA Times, or the Chicago Tribune, you can shape the world. You can make the president. You can make people do anything because you own the media. It's not true, but that was his premise. If you own the media, you own these niggas. You own the public. You can put Ronald Reagan in office. You can put anybody in office.
You basically you can influence people and influence information.
Media is the message.
Right.
And that was the movie Network, and all that came out of that. Big Brother, all that came out from David Halberstam.
Okay, and like propaganda, you can propagandize to get what you're trying to get out of it. You can use your medium to do it, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Okay. Now, so it goes back to my megaphone. So I did that. I said, okay, how can we get the message out? So when Spike Lee did Do the Right Thing, She's Got to Have It First. Then I said, ooh, shit, this is even better. This getting the message out through this medium might even be better than
big shout out to my NYU alum Spike Lee, because he went to NYU Film School. That's and I don't know if you know, like, he's still influential to this day at NYU. Like they named the department after him. So when you like the Tisch building is on Broadway, and it's no, it's not I guess it's not like lost on people. There's days you can walk by and you can see Spike coming out that building, because what he tries to do is he tries to influence a lot of African American filmmakers, because with him there came a new wave. Like High Tiger, brought blacks to golfing. Spike Lee brought blacks to movies, right? You can see it with the Topper Carews and all the people that you probably worked with in Hollywood that came after Spike did She's Gotta Have It. But even though we know the Melvin Van Peebles of the world, the guys who did the What's Name Brothers, who did I forgot his name, who did Dolomite, you know what I'm saying? He I forgot his name. Damn. But he did Dolomite. So you had a lot of black filmmakers in the 70s, but I think what Spike did, Spike kind of brought a new sense of we can do it, and he used the all black cast and he used the story that we can relate to of men and women in relationships, and I think that was his greatest thing. So after you got that push from Spike, what was the next move?
Yeah. So then, my best friend and business partner, I was working at Sears, right? He majored in business, I majored in journalism, and we both went to the University of Washington. And now, so after in college, I got a job at Sears in the shoe store, and he called me one day and he said, "Theron, why are you working at Sears? Why don't you sell him something? Instead of working there, why don't you sell him something?" And so I took that to heart. He was my friend. So I looked. I was always hanging out at the sportswear counter because these big sweatshirts were selling at the time. So we got a commission on anything we sold, even though I worked in the shoe department. So I asked the manager, Jerry Swalling, white boy. I said, "Jerry, where do they get these shirts from?" And he said, "Oh, I'll show you." And he went through the back and he showed me the RN number on the box. Now that's an RN number. Now if you look on the inside of any shirt, it'll have an RN number on it. And if you write that number down, you can go to any public library and look for the Thomas Registry, and by that number, it'll tell you what manufacturer makes that shirt. And so I said, "Oh, that's very interesting." So I went to the library, I got the RN number of the sweatshirts, and it was a company in South Africa that was making those sweatshirts. And it had a number, and they had a rep in Seattle, an Indian dude named Wallace. And so I called him up. I said, "Hey, my name's Theron Cal. I kind of like that shirt. I want to go ahead and import those shirts. How's it work?" And so I met with him, and he told me, "Well, give me a sample, and I'll send it to Africa, and they'll send you back the sample. And if you approve of it, we run them in lots of 10,000 or 12,000. But what happens is you get 12 Koreans together, and each one gets 1,000 shirts, and that's how you get your 12,000." I said, "Bet." So I gave him the sample. He sent it back. I liked it. And I went into production and I started importing clothing from Africa. And I wrote about this and how they got rich. So one day, Gary was working for Nestle in Portland, and he said that he was at the happy hour in Portland looking for the white girls and shit. And he met this white boy, and he asked the white boy, "What do you do?" And the white boy said, "Oh, I'm a buyer. I buy sportswear for Nordstrom's." And he said, "Oh, really?" He says, "My buddy has a clothing line. It's sportswear. Could I show it to you?" He said, "Yeah." So he called me and said, "Hey, send me some samples and send you." We had a board with all the designs on it. He said, "Could you send it to me?" I said, Yeah, I'll send it to you." So I sent it to him. And then he said, when he came back to Seattle, he said, "Yeah, I was talking to my friend. I met with him. I showed him your stuff. And then he gave me this. And it was an order for $17,000.
Wow.
And I said, "Thank you, partner."
a partnership signed in ink and zeros, huh? So okay, now when you made the transition to garment, right? Now, when you made the transition to garment, was that something that you did out of love? Like, was it, or was just you seen a business opportunity and you just wanted to get in on a market that you seen was untapped? Was it about the market?
My market, my creativity. But I'm not going to lie. I mean, originally I thought, "Oh, I'm going to make $20,000 and then I'll be good," right? And so to do the production run, you're going to need at least $150,000 to do a good run, right?
Right.
So we went to the bank for a loan, and the bank said, "No, you have to have an asset, a real estate asset." So what I would suggest is buy some property and buy some property
and use that as collateral. Use the property as collateral. Right.
So I had a buddy, the guy worked at Sears at the Allstate. They had to sell insurance at Sears too, Allstate. And so the brothers was telling me he was buying houses and stuff, but he really didn't take me seriously, right? Mm-hmm. So I saw $15,000 condos in South Center. I said, "Fuck that! I got 15 grand. I'm gonna buy one of these condos." So I went to buy the condo, and the lady said, "No, if you have 15,000, you ain't buying no $15,000 condo. You need to buy a $60,000 condo." So I bought the $60,000 condo, and I took it to him for the insurance. And he said, "Oh no, man! If you spent $15,000 on that condo, man, I could have got you 10 houses for that." So he took me serious now. So now we're out there every weekend. We're buying houses. So we were buying HUD houses every weekend, And I was like, fuck the loan, because I was getting 10,000 a whop.
Right.
It was the VA homes, the HUD homes, the VA homes from the VA,
Right.
the quick claim.
The foreclosed homes, the homes that
yeah, no credit or nothing
right.
like that.
Right.
So I would buy the home. I put $500 down, check, and then get the house, bid for the house, get the house, 30-day close, $10,000 moves you in.
You know why those homes are so cheap though, RBR? You know why y'all was able to swallow them up like that?
Yeah.
Because with the VA, you get a home, what they call a home loan guarantee, right? And what that is they guarantee the lender that they'll cover the veteran's debt, whether he foreclosed or not, right? But the VA doesn't want to necessarily take on that property and have to deal with it. So once the veteran, the veteran foreclosed on home and it becomes the property of the VA because they've paid the lender off, they just sell them for whatever because they're not trying to make a profit off of them. That's why you was able to pick them up, because they're not trying to add homes to their portfolio. You get what I'm saying? So that's why it was easy for that price to be like that.
To get them. So what we thought we would do is we would make a lot of money either in the clothing or the homes, and then we would move to LA and make movies. Right?
Oh, so wait. Let me clear this up. So when you were buying the HUD homes, you were in Seattle at the time. You hadn't even made it to LA yet. So all this is still in Seattle. The clothing company, all of this is still while you're in Seattle.
Yes, I had a couple.
Oh, so you haven't even made the transition to LA yet. Okay, that's interesting. See, I thought a lot of your entrepreneurial things started happening in LA. But from what I'm understanding now, you made the transition. Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
So Nordstrom's can send back anything, right? So I got an order. I got about 50 shirts back from all the Nordstroms, Macy's, Bon Marché, all the stores that we had sold to, and there wasn't shit wrong with them. So I took them to the swap meet out in Kent, right? And so the white girl from the Bon Marché called my office one time and said, "Theron, I was at the swap meet and somebody was selling your stuff. You're not selling your stuff in the swap meet, are you?" And then when the white boy was my mentor, I showed him how to buy the homes too. And I said, "Man, goddamn, the Bon Marché bitch was at the swap meet and shit." And I was trying to make a few.
Can I ask you a quick question? You couldn't find a black mentor? There was like no black man out there at the time?
That's what I'm saying. The real estate do now, but the stores were basically owned by the store.
Okay, I got you. They were the merchants at that time in that community. I got you.
Yeah, they owned the store. There was no brothers there.
Okay, so let's fast forward to our move to LA, and when you got to LA, how that popped off for you, and what was that like? Like let's drive in, let's go down whatever California highway that'll get you from Washington to LA. That's a long ass drive.
He said the white boy told me, "Don't sell the shit here. Go to LA. They'll never see your shit down in LA because too much people go to the beach, go to the Rhodium, go to the Orange County swap meet, and sell that shit." So after John Elway beat the Seahawks and shit, I loaded up my Volkswagen with about $800 worth of return merchandise, and I figured I'd drive to LA, I'd sell all the shit, and then I'd come back.
Right.
And I to LA, man, I ain't came back since.
Wow.
Shit.
Wow. So was it the success of the clothing, or was it just the vibe of LA that was magnetic, and that's what attracted to you? Like when you got to LA, what was that like? What was the living arrangements like? What was your business prospects like? Like what did you do? Was you just wide-eyed and just thought of everything?
I had the rental properties. I sold the condo. I gave that up, and I had a couple of retail stores, at least 2 retail stores. And so I had money, and I just lived off that money for like a year. Now, I did start buying houses when I came down here, a couple of HUD houses. I bought at least 3 HUD houses down here in Los Angeles before the market crash hit. And I just was selling product. I was still bringing product in, and I was just selling product at the beach, at the Rhodium. I just had the little Asian Japanese girl at one booth. I had other sisters. I was making the shit happen, right? And then Doria Purdy, she sold next to me. She was doing I call her Black Thing, Doria Purdy Black Thing. If it's a black thing, you wouldn't understand. And so she was an extra in movies and shit. And I said, "Doria, I'm looking for a black production company. I'm trying to get in where I fit in. If you if you have a black production company, please call me. So she said, Cal, we're shooting an MC Trouble video downtown, and it's a black production company. I said, thank you. And I got dressed and I went down there. And I was helping them out, and I was moving chairs, and I was picking shit up. And they wonder who the fuck this motherfucker. I'm trying to get me where I could fit in. Can I get you anything? Can I help you? And I had my script. And I went to the owner of the company, Kevin Swain, and I said, hi, my name is Theron Cal. I have a script. I would like to. Would you look at it? And he said, well, talk to my first AD. His name is F. Gary Gray. Talk to him. So I said, oh, okay. Hey, Gary, my name's Theron Cal. I have a script, and can I show you the script?
Well, let me get this right. Like, you just went on the scene, like you had no formal job, no nothing. You just went like a fake intern and started asking for things, and then dropped your script. Am I correct in that?
Absolutely.
Wow, that's huge. That's huge. That's that Puffy shit. That's what Puffy did to Andre Harrell. Like,
I moved on Cahuenga and Hollywood Boulevard, and the production company on La Brea and Hollywood Boulevard was the production office for all the films in Seattle. So every morning I would go to the film office before 9/11 popped off, of course, and I could see where the black movies were filming, and I would show up.
What, they had like a registry or something, like a board or something?
Yeah, it's like the production, because they have to get a permit. And
okay.
Black movies, and black films and black TV shows. And I would show up, and obviously I'm college educated. I've been studying for years. I know the business inside and out, and they're gonna figure that out once they meet me. And so I'm helping them. I'm giving them editors. You need an editor. You need a sound guy. What do you need? You need grips. You need lighting. You need this. You need that. And so I'm just helping them for free. If something happens where they don't know what to do, like one time the dude didn't snap the mark when they do a scene.
Act like that.
Yeah, the slate has to snap, and the guy, he didn't snap it, and so they didn't know what to do. I said tails, and then the AD said, "Oh, somebody knows what's going on." Yeah, we snap it at the end of the scene, instead of at the beginning.
At the beginning, okay.
When it's done, you snap it,
okay.
So the editor can find it. So I would help them like that. I would help them, and then eventually, like with Kevin Swain, he eventually hired me. Put me on salary. So that's how I got into it. So that's how I got into it. And of course, my girlfriend, we go after the pretty girls that work at the front desk at the companies, right? So the little cutie, met her at the club. She worked for DJ Pooh. She was a receptionist, Dee Dee. So we started going out and kicking it and all that old shit, right? And so one day I said, man, tell Pooh, man, I do movies. I do videos. I want to do this movie. Blah, 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 blah. So she said, my boyfriend, he be doing videos. She said, oh, he said, well, bring him in. I said, yeah. I said, Pooh, please don't let these white boys do your music videos and shit, man. We can do the video. You can direct the video. You don't have to really direct the video. I'm going to do it, but we're going to use you as the director. You know what I'm saying? And so he did it. And all the shit that I wrote about, the motherfucker sent a treatment for Grand Theft Auto for Pooh to do the music for Grand Theft Auto. And when Rick Freeman and DJ Pooh read the script, they said, man, the script is bullshit for Grant. Let us help you with the game. We'll do some music, but let us help you with the game. And they turned that game into LA, the Grand Theft Auto, into some real shit.
Right.
That was Pooh. Same thing with the Boondocks. The Boondocks sent the treatment over to the company. Hey, you guys need to be doing some music for the Boondocks. Right. Like, fuck music. Let us write some of these episodes.
Right. Let us do some of the treatments. Let us write some of the treatments.
So Pooh got a lot of credits on Boondocks.
All right, so as I look at your IMBD, right, right, and you see a lot of things. You got Nelson Mandela, Madiba, Super Couple. Now, are these things done already, or they were in production?
No, they're done. There's a company in Pennsylvania called Music Video Distributors, and they paid us $10,000 per documentary, and we were kicking them out at least 2 a month.
I was looking at some of your pictures from the urban demographic, like some of the set pictures of you and the crew working. Now, a lot of people probably haven't done the research and seen these things. Like, you know, it's you with the crew, it's you on set. How did that feel, like actually being a part of a motion picture? Because like I'm gonna give you a little background. Like when I first came home from the army, like music is my life. Like Thomas A. Dorsey, the godfather of gospel music, is my great uncle. Him and my great grandfather, Buck Alder Dorsey, they were the ones who kind of collaborated to bring us what we now know as modern day gospel music, right? That's my family, that's my lineage. His daughter is responsible for R. Kelly, so his legacy pays forward. I have a nephew that's I mean, is living him in the flesh. I have relatives that look just like him. You know, that shit don't skip genetically. And when I came home, I was really into music, right? And I started a management company. I used to, be in the studio, and the best feeling in the world was watching my artists start a song, right? Do all the work, all the, put it together, and then the end result. That was always the best thing for me to process, right? So when you see yourself in these former pictures that's highlighting you in the industry, and they got Tiffany Haddish and they got the people that work with you, what was the best part about that, and do you miss it?
No, I don't really miss it, because I don't really miss not getting paid, and I don't really miss people saying fuck what you want to do in terms of your political desire to portray black people in a positive light. I don't miss that, because what Psychopathies is saying was only true to a certain extent. Before I had ever made any money, all I wanted to do was make some money. But once I had made some money, it's like a white girl. If you've never fucked a white girl, you want to fuck a white girl. If the first girl you ever fucked was a white girl, you're good. Okay. So before I had never had 20 grand in my hand before, then that was all that there was to life. The meaning of life was getting 20 grand before. But once I got 150,000, 300,000, I was good. Now I know nobody believes that, but if you look at Bill Gates and everybody else, once you have money is not the end all be all in your life. Now we don't know that because we ain't had no money.
So, right. So once we got the money, it kind of changed the perspective. So as far as like when you did these films, right? And you worked on these films, and you worked on these sets and everything. Like, what was your catalyst to the stories that you wanted to develop? What was the ideas of the people you wanted to work with? Like, how did all that come about, and how did you put those things together?
Yeah, well, the things that we did when me and Gary wanted to get the film done, and so the Urban Demographic originally, and at that point, I was already doing the productions, and I was telling everybody that we need to stop making. We spent $2 million on TLC Waterfalls video, and I was so fucking mad. I said, Gary, god damn, man, $2 million on a fucking video. We could have made a movie. And so I said, you have to know somebody. You're from LA. I'm from Seattle. He said, I went to high school with Ice Cube. I said, okay, that could work. Tell Ice Cube we're going to take $2 million from this video budget, and we're going to make a movie. And so he goes to Ice Cube, and then Ice Cube goes to Brian Turner, and then Brian Turner goes to New Line, and they say, get the fuck out of here. We ain't making a fucking movie. And I said, oh, no, I didn't say go to fucking New Line and ask them. They're not gonna, what you going to do, set up across the street from them and be their competition? They're not going to fucking do it. I said, use the video money. Use the video, but the fucking next $2 million for some stupid ass TLC video, and let's make the movie with that
for the budget. Right, that makes sense. But
Brian Turner said, "Okay, I'll do it. I'll put up $2 million." And Pooh and Rick Freeman wrote Friday, and the rest is history. Now, when we got out there, we were on 126, where Regina King does a Cadillac commercial, and she drives by Craig's house. If you see it in the commercial.
Yeah.
Anyway, on 126 in Normandy. So we're out there on 126 in Normandy, and here comes New Line Cinema. What are you guys doing? We're making the movie. Oh, we told you we're not going to make the movie. Yeah, you're not making the
movie. We're making the movie.
Okay, stop. We'll make the movie. We'll finance the movie. And they put up the $2 million, gave all the rights and everything to Ice Cube, the soundtrack, and everything. And I was asked out.
Wow.
And so what Sweet Pea is saying, you didn't get credit for it. I didn't get credit for it. But I'm not. And I struggled with that because I didn't get credit for it. People know I put that fucking film together, but since I didn't get credit for it, should I tell people I put the film together? They're going to believe I'm lying. I'm still black. But I've got.
Well, I mean, it's you can attribute some of that to people not understanding how the industry works and how sometimes when you create a project, you may be in it, because there's been times where I was an executive producer on an album for somebody, and then for whatever reason I stepped out and I put the whole thing together. I assembled the team, but I don't take credit at the end because I didn't stay for the full. And a lot of people just don't understand that that's sometimes how, when you're dealing with art and you're dealing with music or film, things like that, it's not always a collaborative effort. Somebody wants to be the big dog. So people may not understand that you stepping away is not necessarily mean you're not a part of it. That, it just gets difficult, because if they do the knowledge to Friday, they'll see that it was difficulties in trying to make 2 and 3, right? Like 2 was rushed. It wasn't really the same genre. They tried to add, the Mexicans in it, and the white boys got a hold of it. So it just wasn't good, right? But like where 3 was good because it kind of went back to black people. It kind of went back to its original basis, you know what I mean? So it was good again. So it became a cult classic again. Where 2 is kind of, if you into that like stoner, idea of it, yeah. But 3 and 1 really was like the original franchise. All right, now, how does it feel when you because you see a Tiffany Haddish is in there, other people that's in the film, in the project, Urban Demographics. When you see her success and you see where she's going, what was that like in the original, like in the beginning when you seen her and like now seeing her successful? How did that make you feel, knowing you were on the bottom ground of giving her an opportunity?
I feel real proud because Tiffany, she was sleeping in her car. She was homeless. And the girl that was in the John Legend video, I wanted her. And in fact, I had cast her. And from the first black and white John Legend video that he broke out in. And the girl's agent, they all have Jewish agents. She looked at me, they thought I was black. And so she claimed she was in a car accident and she couldn't do the movie. So I just held open auditions for the lead role in the movie. And I tell everybody, I'm not going to lie to anybody, Tiffany nailed it. She fucking nailed the part. And I told my AD and I told Will, I said, man, she got the part. Tell her she got the fucking part. And she just was brilliant. And her agent said, oh, when she's not ready for a film and all kind of stupid ass shit. I said, what the fuck is she talking about? They two of these people talking about. Don't let these motherfuckers tell you ain't ready for a film. And so she's not with him. She hooked up with Gary's agent, same agent, Brand Joel at UTA. Leave them motherfuckers. He's Jewish too, but he's cool. He helps people out. He got Jada Pinkett, he got Vivica Fox, he got Kimberly Elise, and all that shit. So it was a good film. It was a good film.
I'm gonna check it out today. I'm gonna definitely check it out today. I told my people that I'm gonna go ahead and check it out, because I just want to see, because I'm into music. I love music, and just to see that the Urban Demographic, because I just read the treatment about it being about a radio station going from classical to hip hop. So I really want to check that out, just seeing what that is. I know, just to see what it's about. Peace, Aubrey. Thanks for coming through, bro. Please, everyone, I'd like to thank everybody for coming through. I got OG in the building. I got my man Big Game OJ in the building. You know what I'm saying? Coming through with the manly talk. I got my man Psycho Pathis Jersey in the building. Triple OG, my original Triple OG. Buster Free in the building. We got Nikki in the building. We got my girl Sweet Pea. We got Miss Carolyn Lowe in the building. I had Taz the GOAT in the building earlier. We got my brother Educated Aries, formerly known as my friend Aries, but he's still my brother. So thanks everybody for coming through. We got the one and only RBR Network in the building. Theron K. Callen. We just chopping it up with him. We want the world to know who he really is, and not, thinking because he's black he's a lion and he ain't telling the truth. We don't need that no more. So we here to bust the myths, to fix the lies, and to talk to the legend. And we're talking to the legend right now, Theron K. Callen of the RBR Network and the RBR Network for Women. So RBR, You told us a lot about who you were and how your upbringing and the transitions that you made in different occupations and different business industries. Okay, so when the film industry wasn't really what you were trying to do, where did you go from there? And how did that come about? And do you ever think about doing movies, or do you? But before we get to that, right, real quick, before we get to that, how did it feel when you were on BET that day and the way you manifest yourself and the way you presented yourself and the way you kind of put those other people on blast and they felt uncomfortable? How was that? And how did that come about? How did you being on that show come about? And how was that interaction with all those people up there? Because there was some famous people there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there was a girl, High Yellow Heifer, that worked. She was doing movies, right? And so when I was at Urban Entertainment, we were looking for movies. So she had done some old bullshit ass films, right? And so one day I was trying to recruit her film to get her film for Urban Entertainment, and I saw her truck, and her truck had Shack 32 on the license plate. And I said, well, why does your truck have Shack 32 on the license plate? She said, oh, he bought it. He bought the truck for me. And it gave me insight to what kind of a fucking idiot she was. And she was married and shit. Come on, stupid ass girl. So anyway, she worked at BET. And, after Bob Johnson sold BET, he brought in a lot of black man hating lesbians. So a lot of lesbians were working at BET. And so she gave the tape to the producer of O-Drama. And they thought they would have me on in a segment and they would clown me because how dare you tell these sellouts that they can't sell out? How dare you disrespect our sellouts and shit? And so they thought they were going to clown me, and I was going to just do one little segment, and it turned out being the whole goddamn show with the real brother, which is how shit works. You have to. It's success is when preparedness meets opportunity, and that was the opportunity. So I'm not, I was just me. It was still about the megaphone and about the truth, and that's really what it was all about. So I was just really just trying to tell them the truth. I'm very thorough.
So it's similar. It's similar to how you are over here, where because in essence, that's what most of these channels are, just like micro talk shows, you know what I'm saying? And so your behavior mechanism over here is just the same as you were on the stage with them. The fact that it's just separate and we're in this anonymous space and it's not as close and it's not like, in the studio. So is that on close?
Like what Psychopathus is saying is that, see, the stereotypes are very, very difficult to overcome. Now, if black people didn't buy into the stereotypes, then obviously they wouldn't be difficult to overcome. But because 99.9% of black people here in this space believe the stereotypes about black people, I'm not built to make films because I don't want to make Tyler Perry movies.
All right, well, listen, can you do me a favor? Let's not, this is your time, right? And I don't want you, check me out. This is your time. Now, I can't tell you not to engage the chat, but I just want this opportunity to be for you to speak succinctly, minus the back and forth with the chat, so people can, because I'm giving you the opportunity so people can really know who you are, because people associate me and you together, so they know we have a partnership that's not always the best, but they know we have a partnership. So I'm using this opportunity for you to really flush out who you are and where your ideas come from and where your thoughts come from. And I really don't want us to get sideways with you engaging the chat. I mean, not to say that you can't, because you have every right to, but I think it's important that people really hear who you are so that they can really absorb your person, right? Because a lot of times people don't absorb your person, they absorb your rhetoric. So I'm giving you the opportunity to let people absorb your person, right? Put your rhetoric in there, but let us know who RBR the person is. And if you're the kind of person that you don't want us to know, that's cool. But I just really want this opportunity for people to get a better understanding of who Theron K. Cal is in totality.
Well, I think we have to acknowledge, like what I've been acknowledging from the first time that I turned in a story to Miss Bradlin's class in seventh grade. Your reputation as a black person precedes you, and people just aren't going to believe you. And one of the things I thought about in coming on the show today was talking to you about how do you handle it? How do you handle it, knowing that people are inclined not to believe you or to stereotype you because they know you're black? That is a very That is something we can't overlook that. Now, everybody that believes in the stereotypes believes that the stereotypes are real and that we're all stupid and that we're all drug dealers and that we're all criminals and that we're all liars and that we're all inferior and degenerates and we're immoral. Okay, and we're not black if we left the alley. So the people who believe the stereotypes. So we're not talking about them, but we're talking about the people that know damn good and well that the stereotypes aren't true, and you've done your research and you've done your homework and you know that 2 + 2 is 4, and they still don't believe you simply because you're black. How do you handle it?
Well, this is the thing, right? I've went through that in spaces that I've been in, right? I mean, in my personal life, not in this YouTube streets, in my personal life. I mean, it's one incident that always sticks in my mind, right? You know, my boys own a barbershop. A few of my friends, they own barbershops, right? They own a franchise called Razor Sharp, right? So it's one particular one that I go to in my hood because, you know, the ones there, we all came up together. When they was young barbers, they was cutting my hair. We was hanging together. We was growing up as men, fathers, you know, whatever we was trying to be in life. And, you know, fast forward 30, 25 years, they successful barbershop. So one day, the guys who, you know, that Vivint security system, like you ever heard of Vivint security system? Like these young white boys was coming in selling the Vivint security system, right? So we chopping it up, and we was just talking about things, and I had put, we was talking deep. You know me, you know how I am, so I put out some real shit out there. So they kind of didn't believe me, like yeah, whatever. I could see all the black faces kind of be like, what, whatever, and then the white boy was like, damn, how you know that? Like, you rarely run into people who know that fact. Like, wow, like, who the hell are you? And when he said that, all the black people was like, oh shit, he telling the truth? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? So when the white boy co-signed it, it's legit, but me just saying it on my own, independently of his confirmation, is up for debate. So I understand what you're saying, but what I've learned to do is, I've learned to understand that people who are doing that don't do the research and the information. And then there's those who do, right? So what you have to do is you have to have a conversation with those who do, and then debate the merits there. Those who don't research it and don't understand it, let them still use secondhand verification, right? Because their whole life is being verified by white people. Like white people has to co-sign their whole life. So that's when I just was like, you know what? Let them be where they're at. It wasn't change how I feel about them, but I just know they don't got credit and they need a co-signer. So I was cool. That's how I deal with it.
And so in my life, like I did with the Miss Spradlin, I proved my argument. See, this is something that in this space doesn't matter. I cannot prove my argument. How come? Because I'm black. I cannot prove that YouTube's business model is not just have one fucking channel. Hey, we're going to start one channel and it's going to make $170 billion company.
All right, well,
Google $1 trillion company.
You let me into a good transition. Transition. How did you get to this space? How did you get from hold on, let me lay it out. How did you get from journalism life Seattle, entrepreneurial life Seattle, take it south, LA, then movies, right? Then film production, then writing. How did you get to this space? How did you get to YouTube and begin the RBR network?
Okay. Well, I was at the Century Club.
Century Club, I was there. I was parking lot pimping though. I ain't go in. We was parking lot pimping. Cause I that was dope how they got the Century City and the tall buildings and shit. And then they got the nightclub like right in the center of all that shit. That was dope. I enjoyed myself. I didn't go in though. We just was out. I was with Soul Life Records. I don't know if you ever heard of them. Sunshine Anderson, Mike City. I was out there with them because my boy, he was signed to the label at the time, and me and one of the managers was real close. My man Jizz, me and him was real close. We used to run the street together. So I've been to Century Club. But go ahead, finish.
So I met the little cutie. I didn't see her face. I just saw her from the back, which was cool. The back was cool. I saw the dark skin. I saw the round ass. And so we started hooking up. She worked in Long Beach with Cracker Barrel and shit, right? And so I take her back to my office. My office doubled as the hotel room and shit to save money on hotel rooms. I take her back to the office and shit. And so I was on the computer and she said, hey, are you to a site called Black Voices? She was from Chicago. Chicago's Black Voices started in Chicago. And she went to the site, and it was a bunch of motherfuckers, Nyla and them, talking, pontificating. It was a megaphone to talk to a lot of black people. And you know, from the 6th grade, that image in my mind of a megaphone talking to the world, not talking to one motherfucker in one channel and shit, these dumb niggas. No, but talking to everybody, telling them the truth, not lying to them about the conspiracy theories and shit. And you ain't black because you left the alley and all kinds of stupid shit. But the real shit, right? And I said, fuck, this is for me. And I logged on and all the bullshit, right? So how I became the real brother was I was on KGLH, because we used to do the morning show with Carl Nelson, and your brother Jamal brought me on, right? So I did the Sellout Diaries. Was it Sellout Diaries? No, I hadn't even done the Sellout Diaries. So Supermodel, I was dating Supermodel, and Janine Heidel was going on vacation. And so I sent in my pitch for her to replace Janine Heidel when she was on vacation. And I said, man, you guys play Sade too damn much.
What? You ain't hating on Sade. Are you, RBR? Come on, man.
I said, you guys are playing Sade too much. If OJ Simpson had an album or Adolf Hitler had an album, fucking minutes, I said, Sade is 100% sellout, man. You know, please shut that shit down.
Sade dope, man. Sometimes you gotta look past the sellout when it comes to talent, RBR. Come on, brother.
I hear black man hater one more time.
Oh, man. Cherish the day, man. Cherish the day. Sweet as taboo. Your love is king. Come on, man. Her first album in analog. Oh, my God.
So she called me. Supermodel called me. She said, man, they talking about you on KJLH. They talking about you, talking about Sade's assault and shit. So they want you to call in. So I called in, right? And so, of course, they had all the sellouts were calling in, talking about they date white, they marry white, they don't see race and all this old stupid shit, right? And so then another brother called in, and the white lady was trying to attack me and shit. Well, nigga, you can't tell somebody who to date and all this and all that. And the brother told her this. He said, well, calm down, sister. Let the real brother talk. He said that.
Hey, yo, you know what's funny? Like,
yeah, let the real brother talk.
You know what's funny? You encapsulize moments. That's one thing I can give you. You'll take a moment and you'll capitalize on it, and that's dope. You'll take a snapshot moment in your life. Like, a lot of people ignore light bulb moments, RBR. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And what I've seen in this interview is when you had a light bulb moment, you unscrewed that motherfucker, put it in your pocket, went home and screwed it back into your little lamp and kept it moving. That's dope. That's dope. I've noticed that you never let a moment go away, and you understand prepping and being successful and just being. That's why me and you, I think we get along, because when we see those moments, we grasp them. I remember when I was in the Army, this is how I became a leader. The leader didn't know where the hell we was going, what we was doing. And during wartime, that's not a good look. If you're the platoon leader and this drill sergeant asks you what's going on and your answer to him is, I don't know, drill sergeant, that ain't a good look. So I took it upon myself to be like, well, drill sergeant, we supposed to be going to the 10s to practice chemical what's name, and then we got to go over here at such and such to practice such and such. He said, you know what, soldier, you the leader. And that began it off for me. That was, you know what I'm saying? You know, we was like the 6th platoon at that time, right? So, and by the time, you know, everything came into order, I was in charge of like 500 people at the age of 19. So I'm one of those people that take advantage of the moment when the universe light that light bulb up. So I you know what I mean? So when you made the transition to YouTube, right? How, like, what made you want to start a channel, and what was your, as we would say, what was your programming?
Right. Well, so shortly after I was banned for life from Twitter,
oh shit,
and Facebook, for saying that Donald Trump was a racist, Marxist, alt-right, neo-Nazi, and you saw Rachel Maddow's show last night, didn't you? About the neo-Nazis, okay, that were at the Capitol building. Yeah, I was banned for life from those platforms, and I already had a YouTube account, and they obviously didn't know I was the real brother. Although they would claim that they did, and but then they demonetized me when they found out I was the real brother, and I knew they weren't paying us for our content. Yeah, so this was like Plan Z and shit. I had no other options. I had my website, but I didn't have another form. The microphone, they took my megaphone away and shit. So I had to find another megaphone. And I told the motherfucker, the brother that was, I forgot, Mo Kelly. I told Mo Kelly he was trying to get me on uh, the station here, the local station. And then the racists bought that station, the conservatives. And I was like, oh no, man, I can't do conservative radio, man. And see, people don't believe me because they think that they don't have no money. They've never had any money, so they think that my life is all about money. That's why they want to trick me into thinking that it's only about my channel and not the other 5,550 channels, which is totally necessary for anybody to make any significant money.
All right, now when you let's I mean, because I see you itching to go there, so we're gonna sit there for a few minutes. I don't want to take this time to hash out something that you do daily on your show, so people can tune into you to hear how you do that. But let's chop into that. Now, the one thing I'm trying to better understand in that logic is when you say we can't focus on one channel, what do you necessarily mean by that?
Well, see, the business mom, and people don't believe me because when you start a company and the company becomes a $170 billion company, and then the parent company becomes a $1 trillion company, you assume that they were born rich. You assume that Oprah was born rich, and she wasn't. And I don't know why we can't just stop lying and tell the truth. So the truth is, and YouTube will never tell you, so therefore we won't believe it because they won't tell us. Well, why would they tell us? Because if they tell you, you're going to do it too. If they told us that they modeled YouTube after Netflix, then you would be okay modeling black YouTube after white YouTube. How come? Because they didn't come up organically with YouTube. They saw Netflix had 90%. I showed my wife. Netflix had 90% of the streaming market. YouTube had 0% of the streaming market. So YouTube said, we need programming. Why? Because we don't have any. So get them niggas away from Blog Talk Radio, live stream, Ustream, get them Wirecast, get them over here. How are we going to do that? Lie to them. Tell them you're going to pay them. Google AdSense. I told the owner of Ustream. Nobody believes me. I called him. I said, I'm gonna tell you something.
All right, but let me. What I'm trying. I understand all that. I got that.
It's gonna come quick. I said, if YouTube starts live streaming, we're gone. You, Blog Talk Radio, Livecast, you're done. We're going to YouTube. Well, I can't afford to pay you. You can't afford not to pay us. And we left, and we're here.
All right. Well, let me. All right. So
one channel is not their business model.
Right. But this is what I'm trying to get at. When you say building up one channel, how is that manifesting itself? Like, how are we seeing that play out with the idea of building one channel?
Well, here's the thing. There's 200 million black people on YouTube. Now, what does that mean to an advertiser? It means that you might pay $100 million for 20 million people. $200 million for 200 million people. Who knows? But the point is the people. So what I'm saying is 5,550 content creator channels covering 200 million black people. That's what you're saying to an advertiser. Not one fucking channel, 200 million black people.
So when you're saying one channel, you're saying how, okay, I get what you're saying. So when you say one channel, you're saying how you think YouTube is promoting certain channels, one or two particular channels instead of.
Well, they are, yes, but see, here's the thing: the money, like I did an article on that ad, that AT&T ad that's on all of our homepages. I showed my wife my website yesterday. I have Google AdSense ads on my website. They don't pay me for them. That's my website. So they're just lying to us. So the 5,550 content creator channels get the digital ads. That's where the ads are. If you go to your homepage right now,
I know, but I hear you, but I think we're getting off base a little bit because
you can't build a $170 billion company with one channel.
Right, but what's the one channel that you're speaking of when you say one channel?
No, my channel. Kevin Samuels' channel, your channel.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Right, that's what I'm saying. So when you say that, what does that mean, though? Or are you saying that
it means that when they sell advertising, they're selling 5,550 channels that reach 200 million black people.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so don't just worry about the 5,000. Worry about a little more. So you're saying increase that 5,000.
No. I'm just saying. Now, obviously, if they start paying us, then hell yeah, that 5,000 will increase by double. But right now, there's only 5,000 channels. We're not fucking with the other channels. So here's what we have to do. We have to.
All right, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. All right. Let me jump on. Let me jump on your literary career. Right. Let me jump on your books and talk about your books and what was the catalyst to writing those and how people can pick the book up and what inspired you to become an author. You and your wife, because you told me y'all did some joint projects together, but you also have some individual projects. So what was that? What was that journey about? And was it a combination of all your experiences up until that point, or was it just highlighting black excellence in your way?
Well, it's more or less the megaphone. See.
So it's another place to amplify your voice.
Yes. You see. I'm not going to say, I think it would be unfair for me to say that everybody just doesn't feel like the truth is really, who doesn't give a fuck about the truth? Why is he so obsessed with the truth? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that the people that are trying to kill you because they hate you because you're black are not telling you the truth so they can get into power over you and then eliminate you, kill you. That's the reason why the truth is so important. Now, you don't believe me. How come? Because these people they're not going to tell you that. They're going to tell you that I'm crazy. Just build up your channon. You ain't making
no. Let's not worry about the people. Let's not worry about the people. Hold on, big bro. This let me let the host kind of regulate a little bit. I want to know why you wrote books. I don't want to know about your what you go through. I want to know. I'm asking you the question. So the answers that you're giving me, it's for me to process. It's not for me to bounce off them. It's for me to digest and continue this interview because it's going very well and I'm learning a lot about you. And I think the crowd is learning a lot about you. And I don't want you to get distracted by your detractors. I want you to kind of express where it came from because I think you're giving me a lot, irregardless of what the crowd may think. I'm getting a lot from this, and I want to continue down that road. Now, and I will give you a few minutes at the end for your final segment, and we're gonna have a little question and answer where you can bounce back and forth. But I really want to know the meats and potatoes of your literature career and what was the books about and why you wrote them. If we can stay in that lane, please.
It goes back to, and like I said, people don't believe me. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna tell them the truth anyway. It goes back to my megaphone. So everything that I do is the megaphone of truth. Now, I know you don't believe it. It's okay. Why? You don't believe 2 + 2 is 4. It's okay. It doesn't change 2 + 2. It's still 4, whether you believe it or not. So
you mean whether I believe it or whether the crowd believes
it? Nobody believes it.
Okay. Well, I wouldn't have you on here if I didn't believe you, brother. Like, I wouldn't have you on here to tell me a bunch of make believe. I can call Queen Maya up for that. Like, if I want somebody to get on here and lie to me and be on some cartoon character shit, it's plenty of people I can call to do that, right? But this is I got the real brother on because I want to hear the real brother's perspective, minus him beefing with the crowd. Like, I don't want you up the bat, and we need you to hit a double, and you argue with the motherfucking people. But like, this ain't Yankee Stadium, man. Like.
No, well, you definitely should. You definitely should have Queen Maya on, though. She's
definitely, no doubt. In the future, it will happen.
All right, but yeah. So the books came out of. Let me see. Let me take each one at its.
Yeah, please.
My novel. Okay, after the Sellout Diaries, right? The movie The Sellout Diaries. I really did not want that to be my legacy. I did not want that to be the last movie that I made. Mm-hmm. Now, of course, I ended up making the Urban Demographic, which that's fine too. But at the time, I hadn't. Yeah. So I didn't want that to be the last movie. And after we did Friday, I found Set It Off. The dude who wrote House Party 4, which was they were trying to do. House Party 4. We were trying to do New Jack City 2. Me and Doug McHenry and George Jackson were trying to get Warner Brothers. We were on the Warner Brothers lot trying to make New Jack City 2, and Warner Brothers killed it and said, we want Gary to direct House Party 4. And obviously, we didn't want to direct no fucking House Party 4. So I found the guy that wrote House Party 4 also wrote Set It Off. So we decided, we want to make Set It Off. And after we made Set It Off, it was better, I believe, than Friday. And it had a bigger budget and the whole thing.
Yeah, Set It Off was definitely better than Friday. Definitely.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? You know they stole that when they the white version. What was that shit with the first time? First time. What's the two famous white actors? First time De Niro and Al Pacino played in the same movie. They like Set It Off is literally like that movie with Al Pacino is literally like the white version of Set It Off. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how they just. But Set It Off was really good, really good.
Yeah. So I looked at that from my own career. I was looking for a movie that didn't hit them so hard like the Sellout Diaries did. All right, where people were so mad at me and shit that I couldn't make any money off the film. People were, why are you getting at these sellouts? Why don't you join the Klan and shit? Kill off the black race like everybody else. And I didn't want to do that. So I wanted a movie where I could still tell the truth, but it was a narrative and it was action and it was a same shit, the same truth, but just in the story that would go down easier. So I was messing with this little actress, Tyra Monique, and she was telling me the story. And so I worked with her on the story and I made a script out of it. And
she was telling you the story about what? Can I ask you, what was the story about?
Yes, it was two little girls, one black, one Korean, because her father was stationed in Korea and he ran up in the Korean chick and they had a little baby. And the Korean family was like, oh, hell no. He had a baby by his brother.
I got a few homeboys that's going through that right now. Now. I got one homeboy, he had to literally go to Korea and take his daughter from the Korean people. Like literally.
Yep. So the Korean family gave the little girl to the brother and told Tim to tell the little girl that the mother died. And so she ends up going to this karate school and there's two sisters, but one sister is bad and killing people and stuff, the Korean girl, and then the other girl is nice, and her and the other girl, Temple Hunt, they become friends, and it turns out that that's her sister. Her mother had two other children by the Asian dude. One was evil, and the other one was good. Mm-hmm. And so 20 years later, they're both in Los Angeles, and there's murders jumping off,
right?
And the police officer, and they think it's the good girl, her friend, Amy Song, and it's not. It's her sister who's killing everybody. But Temple doesn't know she has a twin sister. She's thinking it's her. So she either has to bring her best female friend to justice or prove her innocence. And so I made it as a script. I gave it to Deborah Chase. Deborah Chase was the first one that optioned Urban Demographics. She was Denzel Washington's producer at Monday Lane Productions. She declined. She said she doesn't do police dramas. They thought it was a police drama. Police, man, you can do something with the police. No, I'm not. That's just the backstory. So anyway, I couldn't get the film produced because I was black, and they believe the stereotypes are true. And so I said, fuck it, I'm going to make it into a novel. And so I wrote, that was my first novel. My dad loves it. Really, yeah, he loves it.
I'm going to check it out because I like that storyline. I'm going to check it out. And you know what's crazy, right? And I know, growing up in Seattle, that's what allowed you to add the Asian twist to it, right? You being familiar with the cultures, because even if you go back to the interview you did with the brothers when you was on the channel and you had the Asian brothers that was representing hip hop in that area, and the comfortability that you had with them in the interview, so I can see where you could write a story like that just based on you. And that's dope. Like that's dope. Like that's something that you not only should be proud of, but you shouldn't worry about whether people give you validity for it or credit for it, because you know you've created it. And if they want, the intellectual property is out there to be bought and check out, right? So just let us know where that book can be found at.
Yes, it's on Amazon. It's called Temperature Rising.
Temperature Rising. I'm gonna check that out. I'm gonna definitely check that out.
It's called Two Cultures, One Love is the tagline. Temperature Rising by THERON K. Cal, a novel. Two Cultures, One Love. And the thing about it is, an Asian black girl, right? A bicultural girl, not biracial, because there's no such thing, but a bicultural girl that's Asian and black is very attractive to some of these cool ass niggas. And I thought it would be very
them Malaysians is the bomb. I don't know what you talking about. Them half Korean, half black chicks. I seen some of on the Family Feud with Steve Harvey. Lord have mercy, he went up to one. Oh my God! Like he stopped and had to look like Jesus. Jesus, you a pretty woman. So yeah, they kind of fine. RBR. Well, listen, man. This has been wonderful, man. I don't know if you want to take some questions from the crowd, or you want to,
Yeah, I love that. I love the interaction with the people.
Anybody in the crowd, y'all got any questions for RBR before before I do that though, I just want to say, like, listen, today has to be a treaty between me and you, right? We have to do some North Korea, South Korea shit today, right? Like, even if we create a DMZ, right, a demilitarized zone, we have to create that. We can't keep going back and forth, because we're both, people know us as a team, right? And the team probably hasn't been together in a long time, but we still every once in a while go places and show people that we're still a team. So I'm saying today, for myself as a man, anything that I might have said to you in the past as far as harming you or anything like that, I truly regret saying those things, and I apologize. And I just want from this day forth that we be at peace, that we be at an amicable peace, and that we can kick it and go on panels together and share the knowledge and information and do what we used to do, and step on people's furniture like Rick James and leave mud prints on their furniture, and RBR and AC Star knuckle prints, four finger ring knuckle prints on their forehead. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just asking you today, February 25th, 2021, if AC Star and RBR can bury the hatchet and create a more loving vibe or peaceful vibe with each other. So I'm asking you that today.
Well, I appreciate it. No, and I understand. Like I said, definitely, I want everybody to look at groupthink, to look up groupthink. Groupthink is the practice of making decisions as a group without killing anybody that breaks from the group, killing any creativity or personal responsibility. So what it means is, if you have a group of crab in the barrel ass Negroes, and one of the persons leaves the barrel, then the other crabs try to pull that person down, assuming that if the person gets out of the barrel, he's not going to tip the barrel over and let everybody free, that he's going to escape himself and join the clan. And that's what I think is really going on with these guys. Because white people are suggesting that I'm a clown, that I'm a fool, I'm not like everybody else. I don't hate black people. I don't want to join the clan. I don't think that you're not black if you learn another culture, if you leave the alley, if you become educated, if you become vice president or president. Because I don't believe 2 + 2 is 7, I'm a bad person. And it doesn't mean that I'm a bad person.
All right, let's get to that. Let's get to that.
Like supremacy, like you coon ass.
Let's get to that. That's one of my contentions with you, right? The idea that you look at people that come from a different environment than you as alley cats and things of that nature because of some of the diction that they may have or some of the ideas that they believe in.
If you believe,
all right, let me just get it all out, bro. Let me just get it all out. When you express yourself in those terms and you label certain people those terms, to me it's a pejorative, right? But it's a pejorative based on stereotyping them, based on things that you may have seen from them or manifest themselves in your interaction with them. So for me, I take offense to that because I feel like you're putting yourself above people, or you're identifying people that may not rock with
I
your
think we
thoughts.
have to do that. We only have to do that because if you look at the people who are educated, are the people who are educated elites, or are the people who dropped out of school in the third grade stupid?
I mean, but this is the thing. You have some very successful. Hold on, RBR. Check it out. Listen, hear me out. Hear me out. You have some very successful people who didn't graduate from high school, who dropped out 6th, 7th, 8th grade, right? 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade.
I question that. If you become successful just for yourself, and that's what we see. That's what we're seeing. What everybody is saying. The group think. All right. The group think is, if you become successful by yourself, Theron. Angry Man was mad. Angry Man blocked me. I said every black content creator should be paid for their content, and he said that's socialism. Now, if you made $1 million, Theron, that would be good. But for us, everybody to split $11.4 billion, hell no, that's socialism. So YouTube,
but you do understand. Like
YouTube keeps $11.4 billion.
I understand, but you do.
For us,
but you
supposed to go to black content.
Hold on, check it out.
You go 1 million goes to Kevin Samuels.
Hold on, RBO. Hold on. I don't want to get into all that. Like, what I'm trying to say to you is that is not the same as when you talk to Alley Cat talk. Like, that in itself is just those. Now with those guys, it's just they want to keep the pod to themselves. Right, like they don't want other black content creators to make it. That's why they beef with each other.
They don't want other crabs to get out of the guy.
That's why they beat. No, it's not. It's whether it's they don't want other crabs to be successful as them. They don't want equality. They don't want an equal playing field. They want to be the gatekeepers or be above the fray.
Why?
Because they don't want to. Because they've been poor before and they don't want to share.
That's not it. White people.
That's exactly it. That's exactly it.
White people have never been poor?
No, I'm saying when certain black people are poor, like, I mean, you even have to think about their rhetoric. You have to think about the fact that they'll have political or scientific philosophies to say why black people are less than the groups that they're highlighting, right? Like one of them will say, well, black people are fucking idiots.
Huh? Tell them what you said last night. Okay, where do they get their standards of beauty from?
Europeans. That's what I'm saying. Europeans. And the whole idea of sharing, like, if you're a conservative, right? If you're a black conservative, all you're saying is, I agree with the white people. I don't want to give black people my money.
Thank you.
Right? Like, so that's what I'm saying to you. So when you highlight those individuals, you're just highlighting people who've already shown you why they are who they are. So my thing to you is, when we talk about the Alley Cat thing and you talk about a particular individual, a particular set of people, that's not associated with those two gentlemen, because their thing is, I'm trying to disassociate from people who are not trying to have the conservative idea of keeping their black resources or keeping their resources away from black people who don't deserve them or not beneficial to.
Now, speak to because I agree with you on that. That's not what the people are doing, right? That's not what Psychopathist and Morse Anthony are doing. What they are doing is saying, if you want to help everybody in this space, we don't accept that because it would help you. Nobody else is trying to help everybody in the fucking space. We're all trying to build our own channel so we can get rich, so we can thumb our nose out and think that we're better than you. And what I'm saying is, you're doing that because white people are telling you that you ain't shit. And if one black person becomes president of the United States, or one black person brings $11.4 billion to 5,550 content creators, then you can't say that we all ain't shit, because we all got $11.4 billion to share. So Carolyn Lowe can't make that claim that black people ain't shit. So they want to please those white people by destroying me, and then hopefully they can come up. Carolyn Lowe will give Psychopathist $10 million. Her and Candace Owens. And what I'm saying is, we know that's not going to happen. They want you to destroy me so all of us can be broke forever. Nobody's making money on YouTube. YouTube is only allowing $1 million.
But this is what I'm saying. Again, you're getting to the notion of the finances. I'm talking about you make a lot of hold on, big bro. We can listen. We can get to that. I ain't got no problem with discussing that because I'm kind of coming around. I don't totally agree with you, but I'm coming around to what you're saying. I'm getting, as you flesh it out more, I'm getting a better understanding of what you're saying. I think it's still kind of convoluted, but I do understand where you're coming from. But what I'm trying to get at is you're heavy on this idea of the alley cats, and and I'm trying to stick with that. Like the notion of other channels is one thing, but the idea of how you speak to a group, or the pejorative that you use to identify a group, is what I'm trying to get at. Like, to have the conversation about why you think people like me and Psycho are alley cats, or why do you feel the need to describe us as that?
I think that the low self-esteem, the soft bigotry of low expectations, is so offensive to me. It's like we were talking earlier, and the point that I was trying to get to earlier when I said, how do you handle something where somebody assumes that you're stupid because you're black? Okay, here's the point. I'm not so stupid that I don't hear the people saying that I'm stupid because I'm black, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I'm lying, that I'm a kook. I hear you, cool nigga, alley cat nigga. I hear you.
But see, this is the thing. Why do you let that influence you? Why? Can I ask you? Why do you?
It doesn't. But I'm saying,
but it does, because But listen.
I'm not aware of it.
No. Listen.
Is, how dare you leave the barrel? How dare you leave this out?
No, take it down a little bit, RB. I'll take it down a little bit.
That's what they're saying. They're saying, how dare this nigger leave the alley? And
who's saying that? Who's saying that? Who's saying that? You? Or they're saying that to you?
They're all saying it. Tim Harvey. They're all.
So you think when they say that your accomplishments aren't legit, they're actually saying, how dare you leave the alley and go accomplish these things? I don't think any of them think that you came from the alley, though.
No, that's the point. Why aren't you in the alley? What, the motherfucker ain't been in the alley?
I don't think they want you in the alley. I mean, but I understand what you're saying, right? Like
That nigga ain't coming back. I don't think he's coming back.
that nigga went to buy a pack of cigarettes, and that nigga ain't coming back. And somebody be like, oh, but RBR don't smoke. Oh yeah, he really ain't coming back. Yeah, but okay, so it's basically, you're saying that the people who take shots at you are saying, why you're not stuck here with us? How dare you go out and accomplish things? That's what you're saying?
Oh no, for other people. And I understand it. The fear. Here's the fear. This is all my life. I'm not saying that Gary and Ice Cube and everybody else didn't have the same fear. Who? Everybody else, right? They believed that there's no way that I would be trying to help people. No way. You're only in it for yourself. You would not try to help other people. But why would I want to help other people? Because I get satisfaction from it. Just like we talked about the white girls. Just like we talked about having 20 grand cash. What did I say? If you've had it, then you're not tripping on it. I dreamed about seeing the Reds play the Dodgers. After I saw the Reds play the Dodgers 20 times, if the Reds are playing the Dodgers, I'm not going. Because I've seen the Reds play the Dodgers 20 times. Psychopathia has never helped anybody but his fucking self. He'll lie.
Well, hold on, RB. I can't let you do that on here. Like, see, this is what I'm saying. Like this is an interview for you. Me and you are having a conversation. We're not like Psycho will have his day. Hold on, big bro. Hold on, big bro. Like he has his channel. Hold on, listen. He has his channel. You have your channel.
Yeah.
Right? But this conversation is about you. It's not about Psycho. It's not about me. It's not about your detractors. It's about you. It's about you expressing yourself in a man. Yeah.
I'm about 5,550 channels serving 200 million black people. Now, they're not going to believe it. How many black people do you really believe saw Friday?
A lot.
Thank you.
A lot.
Now, why would I not be about that? Why would I not be proud of that?
I think you are proud of it, but I think, see, this is the thing, RBR. This is what you got to understand, right? Like, black people want receipts, right? They want to see. You know what I mean?
But you didn't see the movie? You didn't see it?
Yeah. We all seen it. Yeah, we all seen it for sure. We all seen it. We all seen
took
it.
all the money. Ice Cube took the soundtrack. Ice Cube took the sequel rights. Ice Cube didn't create that movie. Me and Gary and Pooh and Rick Freeman made that movie. Now, no one person made the movie. The actresses helped in the movie. Everybody. I didn't get any credit in the movie. Pooh told me this. He said, Cal, every fucking song on Boys in the Hood, I did.
Yo, you know when I love DJ Pooh?
Hold on. If you look up the Boys in the Hood soundtrack, the producer of the Boys in the Hood, Sprung Tales, was Quincy Jones.
Mm-hmm.
And Pooh told me Quincy Jones didn't make one song on that soundtrack. I made every fucking song, and his name is not on the credits. We talked about that. It's okay. The soundtrack was banging. It was cool. If Quincy Jones got the credit, DJ Pooh wasn't tripping.
Well, all I was saying was,
made the movie. Are you saying I shouldn't have put the movie together because New Line was going to come in and give Ice Cube all the credit and take me out of it? Are you serious? Is Psychopath really?
Well, this is the thing, right?
And he is saying that.
That's not what he's saying. But this is the thing. This is the film. Nobody should ever see that film. This is the thing. Hold on. This is the thing. This is the thing, right? This is the thing, right? Like, this is the thing. And I see what bothers you is that the people challenging your idea of not having the receipts and you saying that, credit is not always like. What you're trying to express to people is that just because you didn't see it doesn't mean I wasn't a part of it. And we can't always look for credit or look for this to say that somebody's a part of something. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. This is the thing, right? Like for me, I was a huge DJ Pooh fan because I was a huge King T fan, right? Remember when King T and DJ Pooh I was a huge King T fan. I don't know what made me like King, because he was a different California rapper. Like King T kind of had an East Coast vibe to him. He wasn't like most of the West Coast rappers that we had listened to up until that point, right? Like King T, DOC, right? They were different, right? So now when I realized that DJ Pooh that did the movie was the same DJ Pooh that rocked with King T, I started seeing how the California thing came and how like they all kind of piggyback off of Ice Cube and things of that nature. So in saying that, what about that relationship with Pooh and all those guys? What did that help you see about the music industry and see about the film industry? And what do you think they did bad or they did right in doing that? Did they sell out too fast? Who sold out? Who didn't sell out?
No. I tell people all the time. I tell people the truth. There were people like Suge Knight. There were people that I made the same pitch to. Man, we got to stop doing videos. We got to make movies. And there were people like Suge Knight. I said, Suge, no, I got to be there. I said, Suge, you can't be there. Why? Because the call time's 5:30 in the morning, and you know damn good well you ain't gonna get up at 5:30 in the morning. We're just using your name to get the money, Suge. You don't have to make the movie. You don't have to be there. I got to be there. You don't. He thought he had to be there. Did I make a
so he was Puffy? So he was Puffy for real while he was lying. He really was trying to be influential like Puffy.
Yeah. You want to show up on the set every time. I said, no, you don't have to show up. We're just using your name because they don't know who the fuck I am. We use your name. We get the money. You be the executive producer, Suge Knight. We're going to make the movie. The call time at 5:30. We shut down at maybe 2:00 in the morning. Come on, Suge. No, I got to be there. Don't start unless I'm there. Okay, we can't make the film. Why? Because this motherfucker gonna show up at 3:00 and shit. We can't. We're not gonna meet our day. We're not gonna be able to get the scenes in. I'm trying to tell, and it's just me and him, so nobody will know that this idiot doesn't realize that the executive producer doesn't actually make the film.
Executive producer is just the money man behind it.
God damn, and it ain't his money, but I'm just saying that.
Right. Like whoever they compiled the money and made the front man to bring y'all the money is the executive producer. Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. Like a lot of people, when they see executive producer, they think that it's somebody who's actually created the treatment. It's just really the money man. It's just really the person who put up the most money, and this is his reward for that. He gets the credit of being the executive producer.
Yeah, and so the point that I'm making, this is a point that they won't give me. Where's the receipts? Well, we didn't make any movies. All right, we could have, if he had listened to me like Gary listened to me, like Pooh listened to me. I've had, when I did Kinfolks, the executive producer had never done a film before, and it bothered her. It doesn't not matter. If you put up the money, motherfucker, you put up that's your short film. So don't let these people tell you you don't know anything about film. So what? You're the executive producer. Anything you say goes, whether that you know.
Hey, if y'all don't like, all you got to do, right, is go on the IMBD and you can look up the movie Urban Demographics. If you go on this IMBD and you look up his credits for Urban Demographic, you will see that he has some, you know, you can see him on set with Tiffany and his friends. And I'm gonna try to share the screen on this.
Yeah, every film that I got credit on the film, I think, is on there. Now, how it works in the industry, you can't tell people that you put together Friday and set it off because you didn't get credit for it. All right, so I produced plenty of films, over 150 fucking films. I produced plenty of features, written books. I don't have to have credit for everything that I've done. There were things that I would have never gotten made. Friday would have never been made. Set It Off would have never been made. All the films that Gary made would have never been made if it wasn't for me. Okay, so that what to sacrifice that? Why? Because somebody else made money and you didn't. Look at all the fucking stars that came out of Friday: Chris Tucker, Regina King, Nia Long. Come on, you guys.
Yo, and at the time when Nia Long was doing that movie, her father was the Dr. What's his name? Dr. Long. He was my history. Well, he wasn't my history teacher, but he was a history teacher in my high school. Cause y'all, I don't know if y'all know this, but Nia Long and the comedian Samore are sisters. Huh?
I see talking about pictures of Ice Cube, man.
Yeah, but y'all, I don't know if you know that RBR. Like the comedian Samore, that's Nia Long's older sister. Their father name, their father name is Dr. Long. He was a history teacher at my school.
Than Nia, ain't she?
No. Yeah, Samore, that's her older sister. Samore is Nia's older sister.
Well, how did she get a dark skin, a real sister?
Dr. Long is dark skin. Dr. Long is a dark skinned man.
Do they have the same mother?
No. Nia, because my oldest son is
no fucking star. Shut up, psycho.
Yeah, so yeah, Nia Long, I remember when she was getting that part and Dr. Long was like, I was on the debate team and we was doing debate practice and I remember him telling Mr. Cox, he was like, I think my daughter gonna get her first role in Hollywood. Like, I think my baby gonna do it. And bam, she did it. And he just died recently and both of them was at the funeral. They ripped their pop really heavy, you know what I mean? So like 6 degrees of separation, you know what I mean? I know a little bit about Nia Long life, you know what I mean? Things of that nature. Okay, so what do you think your channel is gonna go in the future? What do you have any new reinventing yourself, or you're just gonna stick to this YouTube thing? Do you ever think you'll write a book again? Do you ever think you'll direct a movie again?
I'm keeping my eye on the Biden administration breaking up the social media companies. I'm really hoping, but you can't live on hope. But I really do hope that antitrust lawsuit breaks up Google and that YouTube becomes its own entity and that we could get Chris Webber, instead of fucking off $100 million on some fucking weed, to buy, or Oprah or somebody black to buy black YouTube. I want black YouTube.
How would they separate that? How will we separate from
AT&T? They own Android. They own Android. If they break up Google, they can't own Android.
I'm saying, how would there be a separate black YouTube that somebody can acquire that would be separate from the whole platform of YouTube?
It will be called Black YouTube. It will have its own servers. It will have its own trademarks. It would have its own hash. So the search engine. See, the key right now is they only send 1% of the black audience to Black YouTube. The rest goes to YouTube Black. It goes to white YouTube. And we can't survive with just 1% of the black people.
I got you.
Got the fuck out of here. And Black YouTube, became its own company.
I got you. All right, well, look, we're going to go to the question and answer session, and then I'm going to let you get a little closing argument. And but real quick, one question that Renaissance Man had earlier, he was like, what are some of your failures and some of your successes And I didn't forget. I meant
Well,
to
I think
highlight that.
that I wouldn't dare talk about some failures because the failures are stepping stones to your successes. So I
Right.
don't consider them failures. But
Well, what do you see as some of the stepping stones then? How about that?
yeah,
And
well,
if you have any questions, go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'll go ahead and ask them. I mean, serious
yeah,
questions, whatever. Just go ahead and put it in the chat, and I'll ask them. So please,
yeah,
folks,
I think
please hit the like and share button too while y'all at it, please.
yeah, people look for flaws in I guess flaws in my character and stuff like that because of my training. But the truth of the matter is I fully understand that to be successful, I have to be accurate. I have to be honest. I have to have morality. And it's hard. Why? Because people can just lie on you. The people who have no morals and have no integrity will just lie on you. And it's hard because why? Because you want to believe that. Why would someone lie on somebody? Well, if somebody is 50 million miles in front of your stupid ass, then yeah, you might lie on them to close the gap. You understand what I'm saying? So I understand that. If I can't convince black people that we shouldn't be taking our self-image and our cues from a bunch of fucking racists who might kill us, if I can't convince you of that, then I failed. Why? Because they will kill us to ease their white guilt. They have white guilt. They will never admit it, but they have killed over 200 million black people, 6 million Jews, dropped 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. These racists, these white supremacists have killed hundreds of millions.
All right, I got a question for you. I got a quick question for you from Trailer Hood Voodoo Ninja. He says, why you blame white people for everything, and how can you call that morality or integrity?
Okay, I blame white people for 450 years of slavery, racism, discrimination, and oppression, and they blame themselves. If you feel guilty about something, then you blame yourself. Well, black people keep making us feel guilty about slavery. Why? Why would white people feel guilty about slavery? Do Chinese people feel guilty about slavery? Do Samoans feel guilty? Alaskans feel guilty about slavery? No, white people feel guilty about slavery because white people perpetrated slavery.
All right, another question from
everything that white people did, I blame them for. Now, everything that black people are doing, believing every fucking lie that a white person tells them, I blame black people for.
All right, relax, RBO. I can't have it screaming on the platform like that. We can't do that over here.
We have that much truth coming on the platform.
I got the kids, because the kids are sitting in here listening, bro. Like my kids is right here listening. That's all. They got school today, so they can hear it. All right, now another question from Carolyn Lowe. She said, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I see myself happy that we were able to buy Black YouTube. We were able to turn Black YouTube into a $100 billion company, and we get the 100%. Well, not 100%, but let's say 90% of the Black advertising market is on Black YouTube, and it becomes the #1 Black-owned enterprise in the country, in the world.
Mm-hmm.
In the world. And the reason is because look at the ease at which we do this. If we weren't listening to Carolyn Lowe, think about how far we can go. Think about how much money we can make. If we weren't listening to somebody who hates their own race and culture and thinks that white people are superior, think about it.
All right, now a quick question. Psycho has another question for you. And Psycho question was, why haven't you sued Ice Cube for any I guess that would be intellectual properties or anything that you contributed to that movie, to that project?
Well, because he's covered. New Line Cinema gave Ice Cube the sequel rights and the soundtrack rights to the Friday franchise. New Line Cinema did. They distribute the film. They paid for the film. Now, Ice Cube didn't write that film. Ice Cube didn't produce that film. Ice Cube didn't direct that film. Ice Cube didn't conceive that film. We did. But you can't sue somebody if the rights for the film were given. I'm not saying they didn't pay him. He's worth $160 million. But if they offered the film to Psychopathia, he would lie. Even though we did the film, he would say, Theron don't know what he's talking about. Theron ain't shit. He would lie and take the fucking money. He would, because he ain't no different than Ice Cube. So he would
So
take the money.
basically, you're limited on what you can do legally because New Online Cinema created the deal with him. So him being whoever the executive producer is and whoever he is, you're not in a position to leverage any of that.
Right. I didn't know who was DJ Pooh wrote it. Now keep in mind, every Friday sequel says based on characters created by DJ Pooh. And if they do that, they're good. But he doesn't get a dime. We talked about this. He doesn't get a dime.
You know what's funny?
Soundtrack for Friday.
It's funny that we sit here talking about Friday because I swear to God, like that's my son's favorite movie. And when it was out, my son was like 9 or 10 years old, 11 years old. And when he come stay with me for the weekend here, you know, that was his shit. He'll pop it in, he'll watch his little, what's the kid with the fucking fucked up head? Hey, something. Hey, what's that kid on Nickelodeon? He would watch that first, right? And then he would watch, and my mom would come in the house and be like, why is this 9-year-old boy watching Friday? Because that was her shit. Like that was my mom used to watch that shit. Roll her a joint and watch that shit and crack the fuck up. She had it on VHS. She had it on VHS and DVD. She doubled back, right? So my son cracked her stash and found Friday, and it was on and popping. And I remember one day, hey Arnold, that's it. And I remember one day she came home and she was like, listen, I don't want my damn grandson sitting here. I was like, Mom, that's your grandbaby. He love it just as you. So y'all made a classic movie. Y'all made an iconic movie. It's a cult classic. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you're a part of it or not, you still did it. Anybody got any more questions real quick before I sum this up? Before we wrap this up? I think this was a great 2-hour interview. I think you did great. I mean, you're going to be RBR, so you answered a lot of questions. The numbers look pretty good. So I really appreciate this. I just hope that me and you can stick to our peace treaty and keep doing what we got to do. You there, bro?
I'm going to get my show started late. I guess I'll go in at 8:55, I guess. So they're invited over and we can continue the conversation. Psychopathius won't come because he's scared of the truth. He's scared to have a dialogue with me. Why?
Well, I think I'm going to be honest with you. I think that you're a great man. I think you're a very intelligent man. I think you're a smart man. I think that a lot of times we should be more, I guess I would say we should be more supportive of your past endeavors and supportive of your present endeavors. I just think your style of speaking, your style of interaction and debate is kind of rough for a lot of people, and they find it, you know, like it pains me sometimes because I'm like, I like this dude, and like he just doesn't see that I'm down with him and I'll rock with him. And you know, it's kind of hard. It's kind of difficult sometimes to deal with you. And people really do want to have a conversation with you because when you're not bombastic and you're not like really, you know, stuck in your own zone, it leaves you with a refreshed feeling to have a conversation with you sometimes. Like sometimes we've had great shows. I brag about it. You know, if I'm with a side bitch or I'm with my main, I'd be like, yo, me and RBR had a dope show today. So I need you to understand is when the shows go good and you conduct yourself accordingly, and Masonic talk, it's a great feeling. And I think a lot more people want that from you because they rarely get that side of you. And that's why I wanted to have this interview. And I hope that the interview could have went how some of the shows did. And for the most part, it did. You let the crowd get at you a little bit. But for the most part, you handled yourself very well. And I really appreciate that. But I just need you to know that a lot of people want to fuck with you. A lot of people want to come and kick it with you. But I think you just got to get a modicum of respect for people, irregardless if you believe them or not. And if you feel like what they're saying to you is discrediting you or demeaning your successes or demeaning your contribution to society, I think you just have to find the means to let them know that you have stain. Right? In the street, we would call it stain, right? You have put up numbers. You know what I'm saying? And I think if you just show your numbers more and you just continue doing what you're doing and talk about the books that you wrote and highlight the books that you wrote, I think people are kind of, because when they do find out whether you did low budget movies or you did big budget movies, it still kind of shocks them. And your performance on BET kind of gave you some credibility. So if you could just do that for your little bro and just sometimes find the means to allow people to be where they're at and try to meet them there, it would be greatly appreciated. But I thank you for coming through. This was so dope for me. This was a pleasure. And I think, you know, this has come full circle where I'm interviewing a guy who gave me the opportunity to speak first. this is dope for me, and I thank you for coming through, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man. I thank you, everybody, for hearing the truth. I speak to the subconscious, so your conscious mind won't accept the truth, but your subconscious mind will, and that's the most important part. That's the part that you live by is your subconscious. So that's a good thing. So everybody got a little bit out of it today, man. So I appreciate you, though, brother.
I appreciate you too, man, and I thank you, man. And maybe we could do another show one day, man. Hook up and we talk to some other people, man, and talk about some of the things that Biden administration doing, and kind of get people to understand that he's benefiting people right now, and he's passing some legislation that's going to benefit them. So maybe one day, man, we could do a political talk show, man, me and you, and chop it up. All right.
All right, that'll work.
All right, bro. You have a good day, man, and I'll be tuning in from the clouds to check out your show. So, yo, everybody, let's give RBR a round of applause, man. We had the RBR network here today, man. I want to thank you for coming through. Yo, thank you, RBR, man. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. I appreciate
All right, peace. Yo, that was dope, man. That was RBR from the RBR network, man. I hope y'all liked it. I hope y'all enjoyed some of it. A lot of y'all were taking shots at him, but he's used to that, and I think that he answered some questions. My bad, Quasi. I ain't even see that, bro. My bad. I ain't even see that. My bad. But I'll make sure next time he on, I'll give you the opportunity. So, yo, man, thank you everybody for coming through, man. This was a nice live, man. I think RBR, he's RBR, so he did what he was going to do. You know what I'm saying? He definitely did what he was going to do. But this was a good build, man. This is damn sure a good build, man. This was definitely a good build. Definitely a good build. So, yo, man, thanks everybody for coming through, man. It's your man AC Star. Yo, I got a merch channel. I got a merch shop on Streamlabs, man. So check it out. You know what I mean? Go in and check it out. Got some shirts, some mugs. Just buy a coffee mug or something, man. Got my nice little logo on it. Nothing heavy. I don't want nothing heavy. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to do nothing big. But, yo, man, I'd like to thank everybody for coming through, man. Y'all wonderful. Please hit the like button and the share. You know what I mean? Check the playback if you in the clouds. Yo, y'all dope. We're going to continue to grow this channel. I'm going to have more interviews on Thursday. Hopefully, I have my man Psychopatheus coming up real soon. I'm going to definitely have my man Trailer. I'm going to definitely have my man Big James, Orenthal James come through, because that's my young bro. So I definitely want to talk to him. So, yo, check me out on Thursdays, man. It's going to be Conversations with AC. We're going to do it in the morning. Sometimes we're going to do it in the evening. But I'm going to try to have some real impactful guests, people that y'all familiar with, people that y'all may not be familiar with. And we're going to keep it going. I hate RBR because he's black. Psycho going in. Psycho is going in. Tim Harvey, peace. Everybody, peace. Old Breed, thanks for coming through. Carolyn Lowe, thanks for coming through. Yo, y'all wonderful, man. Yo, Trailer, thanks for coming through. Everybody, we're going to make this bigger and better. We're going to keep going. Y'all going to be my crew. We're going to be like 300. We're going to be stopping everywhere, all right? So, yo, let's do this, man. Let's do this real talk. AC Star Morning Show, AC Star Talk Radio. This y'all boy. Y'all know I need y'all to do 3 things. I need y'all to love yourself. I need y'all to motherfucking take care of yourself. And I need y'all to stay safe. Peace. I'm out.